everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for December 4th, 2019, 3 p.m. Eastern. As we begin, I won't say begin, but I will say as we continue to accelerate the transition with this planet, there's like to let everybody know, tonight I will be talking quite heavily about some in-depth Homo sapien understandings of the Homo sapiens physical and spiritual aspects and what that all means. And the Homo means human and sapien means hybrid. So basically everybody on this call is a human hybrid for the most part. I'd say there may be some true humans on the call. There's off-worlders on the call. But, just so that we understand that we are not human because we have been hybridized through several thousand years. So that's why you don't hear it a lot. You used to, but Homo sapien, some of us are Homo sapiens, sapiens is depending on how much genetic shifting has been done to our physical vessels. So this is a good thing that we begin to understand, and this is what we're going to address as one of the subjects tonight on the Holiday Time for Change call. So it's once we understand these vessels, we will be able to move out of them at will and then come back to them. There is a way that you do this with your God energy, connect from source energy, where when you do leave the body, it becomes it stays in suspension. So it doesn't move, doesn't blink or anything. It just stays there. It doesn't. It's not. The energy is in it. It's there, but it goes into stasis until we can come back. We can do this. We could leave 2 years and then come back, and it's still fine to enter and start up again. So these are areas that this civilization has got to start understanding. That we're going to go into much heavier depth of these vessels that we inhabit, to have a knowledge and an understanding that's been stripped from us forever, so that we aren't aware of how we can maneuver and how we can come and go at will out of the body, in the body. So these are things that it's time for all over 29 million people in this meditation, that we begin to educate or inform everybody on just exactly what this vessel's about and how we can become total masters of it, period. So in this rapid shifting going on, and it's at our, believe it or not, it's at the planet's frequency direction as well as ours. It's our intent. And as a collective consciousness, vibrational frequencies continue to move up, you're going to experience quite a bit of transition into higher frequencies. Now, there are those that are, I guess you can say in a way, assisting with the planet, that are in 6th and 9th dimension. Okay? So they're in 6th to 9th dimension. Now, of course, because of their vibrational frequency, it's not like you and I talking, sitting on a park bench talking. they do it more through the frequencies of mind. Okay, you can call it telepathy or mind connection. So through the heart mind, kind of communicating through the ego mind is a lot different than through the heart mind. So we have a lot of semblance of people, that beings that are here above and below and in on this planet. So the more we begin to understand our configuration as a life form in these bodies, the more we're going to be able to understand who and what we are. We must go deeper to assist everyone as they travel on their journey within the body to the kingdom of God, which is source creation energy. Okay? Source creation created everything and continues to do so. And we are God creation. So that means that source creation created gods, which we are. This is not an ego, or I am ruler over this or that. It is basically the plain and simple understanding that each and every one of us are the God created by source creation. So, and as we were created out of pure, deep, eternal love. So we are a frequency very high, so that the God element within these bodies, you call it soul, you call it spirit, you call it higher self, there's a lot of different labels, okay? And we are all one. So when you hear all of these names that we are, well, your soul, your spirit, your higher self, it's all one. It's different aspects of the God that we are. So everything is one. Remember that. There's no splinters or little pieces that are strung about. We are all one. And we have different facets. If you know what a facet is, it reflects light and it shines and glitters if you facet different stones and things. These are different facets of what we are, the different aspects. So it is best to be as prepared and as informed as possible, so that as we make our journey, and this is our own journey, to go within the body and to eventually meet with source creation. Then you go into the kingdom of God. Your kingdom of God is your spirit. It's your soul. It's your higher self. It's the essence of which source creation created out of deep eternal love. So all of us, are advancing because we chose to advance. Understand that. It's not like we are being forced to advance. We chose to advance. And this is why a lot of us are experiencing different anomalies, different things, different energy spikes in our growth, in our expansion. And the more we're informed of who and what we are and understand that, it's a sense that we carry with us. It isn't a fear. See, some will fear that because they're not quite, they haven't moved themselves into the right perspective and to the right direction. So they're fearful of discovering that, so that the ego mind holds them back. But those of us who understand what it means to go within, and we don't need to be rocket scientists about it, but to know within our heart mind that all that we seek is within us. And that's just not a cliche. That's a fact. All that we seek is within us. Because to understand something, the essence that we are inside these bodies is pure source creation. It is all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. It houses all that there is, all the knowledge, all the understanding of all that there is, of all the civilizations that have been, that are, that will be. This is the collective consciousness of all that there is. This is from source creation, which is all that there is. This is into the void beyond the ribbon of creation. Before a universe is formed, there is just space. Space increases to accommodate universes. That's it. And the universes are created through source creation, through our God, our intent, our direction. It isn't created out of these earthly bindings of greed and ego. That's in the three-dimensional existence. This is just because we are, so we create. It is what we are. We are a form of creation energy, so when we intend it and we point it, it then begins to create other life. We are extensions of source creation. So we are co-creators of source. The source creates us and sends us out. We begin to inhabit different forms. And why? So we can experience what it's like to be in those forms. And we can gain knowledge, more knowledge, which basically is all one. So it's a constant stream. You can picture everything streaming its knowledge and its understanding to source. We are all connected to source, because source is that which created us. So that's why we talk about the theta wave and moving into the flow of source. Say, people say, well, source is everything and we're source, then that would be automatic. No, because our frequency has been lowered when we go into these bodies. The frequency lowers. And also, as gods, when we're outside the body, unless we're aware and literally conscious of who and what we are, we can be tricked, we can be misinformed, we can be misguided, we can be seduced outside the body. So it goes very deep in existence. And we gain our memories back, our existence of the memory of what we are, which means that we are the gods within the body. We will also get to an understanding that we can leave the body anytime we want, whenever we want to do it. That's not now, but that is going to be pretty much the norm. There are those gods, or whatever they want to call themselves, that are outside of physical form, that can leave physical form at will, whenever they want, and then come back and enter it 2-3 years later, and then maintain an appearance of physical structure of youth endlessly. You mean 3,500, 4,500, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, and the physical structure is 35. Okay? There's much more outside of this planet than this civilization has ever been introduced to. And on it and inside of it, there are no limitations that have been put on the civilization. These are just creations of the current three-dimensional matrix that has done that with these bodies, and then also the archon structure that has tricked the souls, the gods, over and over again to continually reincarnate without memory. So in this meditation, we are energy. We are energy, which means that the energy is all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. Which means is that we are connected to all of it, to everything. Blade of grass, building, materials, vehicle. Everything has alive. Why is it alive? Not in the context that we may think, like you and I, in these bodies, but in the context that it has molecular structure. that it has atoms, okay? That it has quantum particles, no matter what it may be. It does, in its own way, live, okay? So everything is life. This is where it comes into we respect all life. We honor life as the highest value in the universes because it is everything. It is the planets. It is the stars. It's the black holes. It's everything. It is life. And it comes from source creation. And what is source creation? Source creation is energy. It is a consciousness. It is everything. It creates. You have to have a creation. There is always a structure, a molecular structure, where there is always a creation. Understand that. You and I are always creating. We just aren't plugged into complete awareness of that creating. We are too distracted in physical form in a illusionary matrix of control, which we are alleviating. We are eliminating. See, that's a layer. And we'll go into that on my other calls later. But you begin to understand that every single thing you do, you are creating. There are no exceptions. There's none whatsoever. People say, well, if I'm just sitting doing nothing, how can I be creating? Because your thoughts, you cannot, unless you literally pull your head off of the body, you cannot stop creating. It is automatic. And all these thoughts that come in, you know, we're in the habit of embracing a lot of these thoughts, and they're all just thoughts. So imagine when you're able to master your thoughts, and you work through the heart-mind, can you see the absolute phenomenal and spectacular, magna glorious creation that this civilization will engage with? We're not talking about ego. We're talking about joy and peace and prosperity and bliss and goodness and kindness. That's what we're talking about. And that's our essence. It isn't about control. It isn't about power. It isn't about destruction. It isn't about ego. It is that we are creators. We are the essence of all that there is. We're connected to it. The sacredness of space. All life on other planets. In other planets. There's no separation here. Everything has been created by Source, which in turn are co-creators of everything. How did this, look at the buildings, look at the vehicles, look at everything. We create that. It just doesn't appear. We create it. Our intent. Okay, let's have this. So we create. That's why if you begin to understand the matrix structure on this planet is meant to keep us in a void, so that we cannot mature and be able to understand and put everything together. That whatever we desire, we can have. Whatever we desire to create technology-wise, we can create it. This has been a stopgap that's been added to this civilization to keep it atrophied, so it cannot expand, so it cannot be vibrant in energy and create and advance. This is why we talk about creating value and building wealth for ourselves and the civilization. And as I said in our last meditation, wealth is a lot of things. So when you finally embrace that which you are, which is from the source of all creation, which is conscious energy. Its intent, it moves, it flows through everything, through all of us, through every molecule, from every atom. Everything is alive. Everything. Molecular structure, atoms, everything. Quantum particles are in everything. All vibrating at certain frequencies to appear either solid, semi-transparent, transparent, liquid, fluid. So it's all in motion. It's all in frequency, housed through the direct intent of the God source creation. And we are gods. To embrace that understanding without the ego, that's what we are. Does it make sense that we don't create? See? Does it make any sense that we don't create? They try to convince us that we don't have the ability to create anything. We're a bunch of drones that are controlled by the archons on this planet. That's just absolutely silly. We have the ability to transcend where we are at. And that's what this whole thing's about. So that we begin to transcend, we understand what these bodies are for. And we understand the God energy within the bodies is for. It is to merge the two so that we understand what we are here to do. And that is to create. In any low frequencies, do we wish to engage in low frequencies? Heck no. And as we become more disciplined with ourselves and our own choosing, this elevates us out of it. We are energy. When it boils down to it, and all the smoke and mirrors is cleared, we are pure energy. We are a high frequency of deep eternal love. We choose, we have a conscious, and we choose to inhabit other forms of energy. Because these bodies are a form of energy. They're a frequency. And everything that we inhabit is a form of frequency energy. But it's laid out differently, like a block of steel compared to a bowl of water. They're both energy. Their molecular structure and frequencies move at different pace. The steel moves at a much slower rate. The water, a much higher rate. The higher the frequency, the more the fluidity. The lower the frequency, the heavier the fluidity. That's how it works. So you can't, if you vibrate your body to a certain vibrational frequency, you could push your hand through that metal effortlessly. Your molecules blending with its molecules at that level of frequency and vibration. You could pass through it without being disturbed. You can walk through walls where you learn how to use your vibrational frequencies. You can literally pass through any solid material. You can vanish because you can increase your vibrational frequency to such a level that you would not be seen. You would be, but not seen by those who have limited abilities and aren't aware. So, if you will, go to the place where you are not going to be interrupted, which I'm sure most of you are. And the first thing that we want to do is we want to relax these bodies. They're under our command. They have always been under our command. Unfortunately, we have been tricked so many times that we have left that to outside structure to tend to our bodies. See? We have atrophied our ability to do that ourselves. So, as we relax these bodies, we are also in command of our genes, our genetics. We always have been. Problem is that we've been convinced that we are not. So therefore, after such a long period, we are convinced that we cannot. You see how that works? It is mind control through the ego mind, not the heart mind. So as we relax the body, we intend that the body becomes relaxed. We know that we carry different thoughts, worries, stresses, fears, anxieties. None of us are exempt from any of that. I have not met one yet, even off-worlders, that are completely exempt from fear, anxiety, or lust for power, control, greed, ego attitude over other forms of life. So it is to understand our bodies, which carry our gods around. And once we do that, we understand that we are the masters and commanders of our light ship. The light ship is the body, and the light is within the body. The body is the ship. The light is the God within the body. The light ship. So as we maneuver and we relax this body that we're in, it becomes a higher frequency. The more we relax and let go of things, the better the energy and the frequency can flow. So we increase our vibrational frequency. Love is a very high frequency. It's a very high vibrational frequency. And that's what we're made of. The reason we have so much strife and everything and we carry so much stress in our bodies is because of the fact we fight it. We fight the love that we are. And we fight that love that we are every day, whether we are cognizant of it or not. So we relax the body. You say, I have no need for this worry, this stress, this fear. I will walk through it. I will embrace it. I will acknowledge it, and I will walk through it. Now understand, it's just a thought. It is nothing until you create it into something. Because you're the creator of all your thoughts. Those thoughts that the ego mind sends into you, you determine if you're going to embrace it and make it a reality, or you're going to let it just pass by. So as we relax our bodies, we want to move into the now, because the now focuses us on this moment. Nothing else. Not the past, not the future. And everything occurs in this now, in the present moment. Now. We create our futures in the now. Period. The past, the present, the future all convene in the now. So we focus on the now. We still the mind, the ego mind, the subconscious mind. You want to go into some of these interpretations, the id, the super ego, all of it is all one anyway. So different facets. So as we do this and we begin to expand our understanding, we know that we stay in the now at all times. And as we're in the now, we've relaxed in the body, we want to breathe. And we want to breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And as we breath in through the nose, we hold at 1001, 1002, 1003, and then we exhale through the mouth. A really nice, comfortable inhale through the nose, hold for 3 seconds, and a really nice, comfortable exhale through the mouth. The breathing is the power in these bodies. And the breathing keeps us focused on the now, because the breathing is only in the now. It cannot be anything else. So as we focus on the breathing, it keeps us in the now. It keeps us from muddling into our past, dragging it into the future. Creating a future from the past is not really a wise thing. Creating a future from the now is a wise thing. So, we want to breath in and breath out, and do this at least 6 times while I'm talking. And for those of you, why do you hold the breath? It's because it focuses on the balance of the now. It always brings us into the now. You can do it standing up. You can do it when you're out walking around. You can do it when you're talking with people. You can do it as much as you care to. We focus on the breathing. It's empowering, and it directs, and it literally focuses us to still the incessant chatter of the ego mind. So as we breath in, we're breathing in source energy, source creation energy. It is always of the highest frequency. The things that aren't high frequency come in through the ego mind. Thoughts. When we embrace them, we create low vibrational frequency. When we don't, we stay in the higher. We choose the things. We have that power, that ability. So the divine positive energy comes through the God, the kingdom of God within us, and through the heart mind. And it's a vibration. It's not a voice talking to you. It's a vibrational frequency. Everything is. Verbal communication, telepathic communication, sentient communication. It's all frequency. It's all energy. One form of energy communicating with another form of energy. That's it. What do you think telepathy is? One form of energy communicating with another form of energy. So, we, as Source communicates, are energy. We are high vibrational frequency. We can take on any form we choose. Anywhere, anytime, any place. We can literally travel anywhere, anytime, any place, whenever we choose. Only after you have mastered the understanding of who and what you are. Some that are of source creation can do this. We are not there yet. But to be aware of it is creating it. Understand that. To be aware of it is creating it. To have an active imagination front and center that we brought from childhood is the power and the source of our creation. It is the imagination, is the power and the source of our creation. And we are energy. And energy comes in the forms of frequencies. What creates the frequencies? The energy. If you have low energy, think of it this way. If your body is low energy, we've all experienced it. How do you feel? How do you feel with low energy? And then how do you feel with high energy? When you're blissful and happy and joyous. That's kind of like the difference between low frequencies and high frequencies, so that you can identify with your physical form. It's an analogy. It's like an example, so you can identify. When you have low energy, it's no different than the low frequencies. When you have high energy, it's no different than when you are feeling blissful, kind, good, empowered, protected, secure, and just plain happy. Now, as we breath out again the tug of war that we have with the subconscious mind and the ego mind. They are constantly trying, the subconscious mind basically is a catch-all as we go through life. We store a lot of stuff there. And the subconscious mind is programmed by us and what we experience as we grow through in these bodies through this existence. And it compiles a lot of negative garbage that influences us from past experiences, or where, if you have one bad steak, they're all bad. You see that engram, how it's been burned into us? Or if you get sick on something, most times you'll never want it again. See? So, the tug of war is with the ego mind and the subconscious. We can reprogram the subconscious by literally working through the heart mind to oversee the ego mind. It's a big difference. And by doing that, we can reprogram the subconscious mind with clearing out all the debris that we don't need. It doesn't serve us any purpose. So then what we do is we take it and drag it with us, and then it influences us. So when you clear it, you fill it with positive, uplifting, high-frequency energy. You see what happens then. It is constantly pumping wonderful, high-frequency energy toward you. And the ego mind can be subtly put into retirement eventually. It's a tug of war. The ego mind literally wants to control and dictate to you forever, and it's never going to be satisfied because the ego is attached to the mind, and it will continually want you to pursue and more and more and more. And that's why no one is ever satisfied. That's why we keep going after other things. That's why we keep wanting. We don't know why. We just think it's going to make us happier, more secure, and it keeps coming and coming and coming. Have you ever met anybody that was 100% satisfied with everything? Everything. Their bodies, their existence, their interaction with others, the planet, the life. I haven't. So, remember that we operate through the heart-mind. This is where we are. And we are merged with the kingdom of God, which is in us. What is it? It is the energy that is the spirit, that is the soul, that is the existence and the creation of source creation, made out of pure love, which is a high energetic frequency that literally creates us as the God within the body. So we're one, the God within the body, the heart-mind. We all operate together, overseeing the ego mind while we're in these bodies, and directing, like you would an orchestra, into beautiful music of a high, high, high frequency of existence. And as the musicians, which are the frequencies, are conducted and directed, the music becomes fluid and totally unobtrusive, just free-flowing, deep, eternal love. So we have many with us with this. It's very exciting every single time that we bring this understanding into the light, is the fact that we have all of the archangels and angels, all of the seraphim, cherubim, and the archetypes. They vibrate at a different frequency. This is why we very, very rarely can we sit and talk with them, because their frequency is higher than ours. Now, they have been with us from the beginning. They are of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love, because that's all they can be because of their frequency. They are not in the low dimensional frequencies. So they assist, they support, they love, they care, they're strong in many ways, they protect, they communicate with all of us. They appear and then disappear. They appear in human form and then they are gone. They're there for a moment to remind you of your path, of what your journey is. And if you're conscious enough, you will identify with them. They can appear anywhere, anytime. So if you are clear and you are literally conscious, and your journey is within you, you will acknowledge that. You will understand that that's what you just interacted with. We have the Ascended Masters. They're with us all the time. You understand that we are connected to everything. We are one big golden ocean. Each one of us are a drop that contains the essence of that entire golden ocean. So we have Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Thoth, Hell, Saint Germain, Sananda Jesus, Amoria, Abundantia, and many, many, many more. And they're all at the frequency of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love. And they're with us always. We can connect with them whenever we choose. The same with the angels. The same with all of the beings of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, beneath earth. And they vibrate at the highest frequency of the deepest eternal love from the deepest eternal love, because if they're in low frequency, they can't participate with us in this meditation, in this circle of light, in this now. And to maintain that frequency, we are all of the highest, deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love. And the deepest, 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 highest of gratitudes. And we call them to join us. We call upon all of the inhabitants of this planet, in it, on it, above it, below it. And they're all in deep compassion, non-judgment, benevolence, tranquility, kindness, generosity and humbleness, peace, bliss, happiness, stillness, non-ego, non-judgment. This is all high frequency, and it is with us. And they're of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. And they join us. They come arm in arm, hand in hand. And they join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light. Their gods are always with our gods. Our gods are always with theirs. And we're all one, and we're all love. And our God-light energy, for goodness sakes, is everywhere. We call upon and connect with all of the light energy beings that are in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. Because guess what? We are part of them as they are part of us. We can direct communicate with their frequency in pure energy source creation. And we call upon them. And they're all of the highest frequency. They couldn't come if they weren't. And they're in total non-judgment, complete full compassion, non-ego. They don't judge. They're in stillness. They're in tranquility and benevolence, high frequency, high, deep, eternal love. They're in perpetual nirvana and joy and peace. And they come in the Gugaplexes. One Gugaplex fills this universe. They come in several. They fill several universes. Quantum, hyperquantum, super universes. Hyper, super universes. And they come joyously, arm in arm, hand hand in hand in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light. And they're all of the highest, of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes, as we are all of the highest, of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. Their gods are with our gods with theirs. We're all one. We are all love. And our God-light energy is everywhere. We walk through it. We breathe it. We are it. All the inhabitants, all of the off-worlders, all the galactics, or only those who are of the highest, deepest eternal love from the highest, deepest eternal love can join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light. Any other frequency of the lower rungs cannot hold form in our high frequency of deep eternal love in this meditation. And they have been assisting us while we've been in these bodies with our evolution, with our ascension, with our enlightenment, with our freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. Through conscious awareness, we will be free of this entanglement. And their gods with our gods with theirs, they arm in arm, hand in hand, join us in this now, in this meditation, in this circle of light. And they are of the highest, of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes, as we are of the highest, of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes, and we're all one. And we're all love, and our God-light energy is everywhere. Our loved ones who are out of body, who have ascended out of body. So their gods are free-flowing. And those who are of conscious light, who are of the highest, deepest eternal love from the highest, deepest eternal love and the highest frequency, in all lifetimes that we've inhabited, can join us in this meditation, this now, in this circle of light. And they're non-judging, and they're full compassion, and they are in bliss, in joy, in peace, in non-ego, and stillness, and tranquility, and benevolence. And they come automatically. They connect with us in a microsecond. Their gods are with our gods are with theirs. Arm in arm, hand in hand, they join us in this meditation, in this now, in the circle of light. And we're connected. Their gods with our gods with theirs. And we're all one, and we're all love, and our God-light energy is everywhere and everything. We have all of these light energy beings who have decided to be housed in, on, above and below this planet, in this now, in this meditation, this circle of light. And only those who are of the highest, deepest eternal love frequency, from the highest, deepest eternal love frequency, can join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light. And they too are in non-judgment, full compassion, peace, joy, bliss, non-ego, benevolence, tranquility, generosity, humbleness. The fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the Pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur, all of them. And they come in different sizes, shapes, colors, configurations that we haven't ever seen. All this loving, wonderful frequency merging together, arm in arm, hand in hand, covering the great expanse of all creation, focusing on this planet and encasing all of us in pure, impenetrable, high, deep, eternal love that cannot be breached, that cannot be manipulated, that cannot be controlled. It is a cycle that is omnipotently brought together by source creation to effect a deep, eternal shift in the frequencies of this planet Earth and all life on it, in it, above it, and below it. And throughout this solar system and throughout this galaxy, and through all those meeting on the basis of the moon, in all places, in all dimensions, who are only of the highest, deepest eternal love, from the highest, deepest eternal love, with the conscious awareness that we are all one, and that we are all love, and that our God-light energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. We look up and we see a meditative sphere that we created. This sphere is in center circle. It holds all of our meditations in perpetual motion. Not just the ones we are doing, but all of those on this planet, in it, above it, and below it, and by all of those who have joined us, and all of their forms of meditation of the highest frequencies of deep eternal love, from deep eternal love, focused in a massive shift of this planet Earth into the highest of deepest eternal love frequency of source creation in pure bliss, happiness, joy, tranquility, and benevolence. Feel the sphere, because it is felt throughout all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. It literally saturates our physical bodies, our God bodies, and it fills us with the highest, deepest eternal love from the highest, deepest eternal love. It saturates, it floods. We are enlightened. We are filled with this frequency. We are this frequency. We become consciously aware and embrace it. We are the directors. We are the orchestrators. We are the builders. We are the creators of all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. It is not changing. It is advancing. It is advancing for all of us in our conscious awareness and embracing the love that we are. And we look on this planet, all life, everything is flooded with this same awareness, this frequency of the highest, highest high, the deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, the deepest, deepest, deepest of gratitudes. All at once, all surging. Feel it in your heart minds, throughout your existence, and embracing the life that we are. And feel the frequency. It is pure nirvana. It is pure bliss, and we can stay there, and we become more conscious, and we can maintain that frequency forever. I'll join you in the meditation and return to close us out. and every one of our choice to embrace that which we are or not. It's our choice. No one else's. It is also our choice to take the journey within and to expand our awareness and consciousness of who and what we are. Or not. It is up to us. No one else, just us, within ourselves. So as you walk around this day, and this evening and night and the following morning, feel who and what you are. Be amazed at the physical vessel that houses you. It is a synergy between the God source that we are, of source creation, and to keep these bodies energized and functioning. To be amazed, to be in the deepest of deepest gratitudes, always, always. And if we need to remind ourselves, then therefore we do. We are all experiencing the greatest frequency shift in the history of this quadrant of the galaxy, possibly the universe. And it is so spectacular that I am totally humbled to be a part of it, consciously aware. And you will all start to receive more and more in-depth information from the gods that you are as you open up the gate to allow the source creation to flow consciously connected to you, through you, around you, above you, and below you. We will have a holiday time for change call tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern on this line, and we will return tomorrow for our global guided meditation call, which will be December 5th, 2019 at 3 p.m. Eastern. And we are going to have a training information Q&A call tomorrow, Thursday. That's going to be done by Jane, the Zora group, Billy Woodard, Jane Stevens. So they'll be doing that call to help everybody. It's a collective effort to have everybody informed and educated and knowledgeable exactly what direction they choose to be going, whether they want to participate or they just want to activate access to this formula. So they should make the announcement on the time for the conference call, and they'll have a conference number and line and access code and everything. So, and that's the product is liquid gold. Feel and experience who you are today. Move more into the understanding of that